So what kind of beneficial reactions have you seen from your work with We Are Not Numbers, and in particular, thanks to your translator work, getting your work to a wider audience? What kind of beneficial reactions have you seen and or want to see more of to your stories in the non-Arab world, like the United Kingdom?
Yeah, well, the thing is, the most important part of We're Not Numbers' work and myself is that media has been always steering a sort of agenda. This agenda has been to show that the two sides are equally to blame, that, Hamas did this, Hamas did that, and to like show that those two sides of the story are equally to blame. And even when you're invited like I've been invited to multiple news podcasts and stuff, and some of them were blunt about making a sort of a parallel between the Palestinian and the Israeli story, and it was an unfair one. And even and some of my friends were invited into interviews, and those interviews were edited or cut in a conveniently to distort the truth. The good thing about working with We're Not Numbers and the work that We're Not Numbers is doing is that it's cutting the middleman who's trying to steer an agenda about the story, and that is not primarily about honesty or the human story of it. The work of We're Not Numbers have been great, especially during the last aggression over Gaza. And I've been working my best, and all my colleagues in We're Not Numbers, we're trying our best to, at the same time where we're vigilant about our own lives, and we're hearing bombings, and those bombings are near where we live, and we were texting on each other one of the days of the aggression over Gaza. We were texting and joking, and one of our friends got their house destroyed. He carried whatever he could, and he left. And it was a crazy time. But at the same time, we were translating. We were talking about those stories, and we got attention for it. Like the international attention was there. People started to understand that it's not it's not an issue of who threw the first rocket or why the first rocket was sent. It's about that those two sides of the stories, the two powers, are not paralleled whatsoever, and those victims are not equal by any measure. And that was the main story, and that never happened before. Not in the previous wars. I am 24, and I've been through 4 aggressions, and over Gaza there were full-blown wars where people were killed in massive amounts. And the last one was not the worst, statistic-wise, but it was the only one where the actual human story was being told. And and I believe that this is the work of We Are Not Numbers and people who carry the same, the same work. This is why We Are Not Numbers was so important. And I've seen it, and I was, it made me so proud of the work that was done.